You got what I need. But you say I'm just a scud. But you say I'm just a scud. Oh, we got the classic echo at the beginning. What's up, beautiful people? How is it going? Man, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Today, we're gonna set the record straight. If you could add one to your tank, would it be better to be an isopod, aquatic isopod that is, or to be a scud? Louis, he said it's time. It is time. In fact, I'll be joined by the captain soon. Just gonna get a few, introductory things, go over the format while people get all situated and such. Welcome, SVC. I see you. Just one more fish is in. Of course. I saw Jorge was streaming. I can't keep up with this man's streaming schedule. I totally missed that. But regardless, so today, myself and CaptainByMoonlight, who we both talked on end, pro isopod agenda. We got like a 2-hour long stream doing aquatic isopod FAQs. One of us is going to have to argue in favor of scuds, and one of us is going to have to argue in favor of aquatic isopods. And because we're civilized, we're going to do a format. Let me pull that up on the screen so you guys can all know the rules as we go along. And I'll also add that Captain wants to give away some worm cultures at some point during the stream. So, run around, tell your friends. This is an exclusive worm drop. So, I don't know about you. I'm always ready to get my worm on. Now, the rules. We will be going by the Lincoln Douglas debate speaking format, loosely. SVC said apparently even Father Fish is keeping aquatic isopods. Not surprised. That definitely makes sense. Very natural thing to have in a tank, right? So, hold up. I'm pulling up the rules on the screen. And again, we'll be doing a coin flip to decide who argues for what side. So, as you can see here, we will begin with the affirmative constructive. So I think the official resolution we're going with is resolved. If you could pick one, aquatic isopods are better than scuds for your aquarium. So one of us will have to argue in favor of that, and one of us will have to argue against that, which would be in favor of scuds. Scotty says, hello, I don't need to catch up because I'm on time. Wow, this is so bizarre. I've never seen Scotty's first message not involve something about doing double time. So we'll start, ignore the time constraints, but we're going to start with this affirmative constructive here. So whoever's pro isopods is going to start. Then we'll do a cross-examination of the affirmative by the negative. So whoever is supporting scuds can ask some questions, try and poke some holes in their argument. Then we have the negative constructive, present the case for scuds, how they're better than isopods. It hurts me to even let those words leave my lips. And then we will go to the, of course, cross-examination of the negative, followed by the first affirmative rebuttal, the negative rebuttal, then the second affirmative rebuttal. Now, I'm going to ask 3 people from the chat to help judge this. Hop into the Discord and help judge. So whoever I see is been in the chat the whole time, you'll be eligible. So make sure you're in the inmytanks Discord. I'll put the link. I'll put the link in there. Maybe we'll do 4 judges, and then if there's a tiebreaker, we'll let the chat decide. Okay? Does that all sound appealing, fair to everyone? Sky says, when cutting black worms just in half, or can I cut each worm multiple times? I don't know. I haven't been cutting my black worms, to be honest. I don't think you necessarily have to. SVC says, I hope Nick has to argue in favor of scuds. Well, I hope you... I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube. Okay, I'm pinning the link to the Discord. And Captain by Moonlight, are you now with us? Are you now with us? As soon as you're ready, feel free to
I
hop
am,
in.
but I'm getting my camera in just
Oh,
a minute. OBS is
okay.
giving me a
Okay.
runaround. 1 second.
They're getting their camera together. That's totally fine. Let me just do the show non-video participants, and we can do the coin toss while they figure that out. Actually, Captain, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. Okay. Okay. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. I'm gonna post the at some point the debate format in the Discord too, if you guys want to follow along the order. But let me go ahead and find a coin. I thought I had one right here. Of course. You know, you gotta have some money lying around. Well, that's fine because we're technological here. Let me pull up the virtual coin flip. Okay. I know. You guys didn't know that we had the AI coins, but virtual coin flip. And Captain chose, what was it, tails? Okay.
Yeah.
Always forget to go into freaking studio mode. Display. No, I don't want to do display. I want to do a window. Now, I hope we don't have too many biased people in the chat. You know, I don't want you to sway. You know, we got to all keep an open mind here. I know many of us, probably Isopod agenda, you know, probably some reasonable, sane people, but who knows? Maybe Scuds are better than aquatic isopods. Lazuli said, I guess it's all in good fun, but is pitting it against each other the best way to evaluate either of them? All the debates are definitely just to help explore different topics, right? So, you know, ideally through this, we discover some benefits, some good things about both of them, and maybe some different use cases, you know. But, you know, forget all that even keeled stuff. We want to figure out who's the best. Let's be real. Come on. And I think we all know who it is, but officially, I can't say. I got to keep an open mind. All right. So, that being said, I have here a virtual coin flip. Okay. I haven't flipped it yet. It says tails. I don't like that. Okay. Short stack goblin said I've had zero luck with isopods. Well, you have to tell us more about your struggles. Maybe we can troubleshoot that. But okay. I'm flipping the coin. It landed tails. Oh, no.
Woohoo! Isopods for me.
Oh, no. I didn't prepare enough for the Scud argument. This is not.
Rest in peace.
Let me pull up my research rabbit real quick. Hold up. Okay, so Captain won the coin toss. I guess I will now be. Oh God, I got to argue Scuds against isopods. So SVC, you got your wish. Damn, this is gonna be hard. Okay, well at least I don't have to go first. SVC said yes, this is gonna be gold. Luis said I feel both can serve a good role together, but if it's gonna be like that, then we gotta push the isopod agenda. I agree. Captain, how is it going?
I'm struggling in OBS. You know what? I'm just going to use Blur in Discord.
All right, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. So again, we're arguing. If you had to add one, aquatic isopods are better than Scuds. I will be arguing against that. I'm gonna have to be defending the beasties, and CaptainByMoonlight will be taking up the torch of the isopod agenda. And as soon as they get their camera on and that blurred background on, you can start your first argument at any time, Captain. And I'm just gonna pull this up one more time, just so I can remember the order. All right. And short stack goblin, if you put whatever issues you've had with isopods in the chat, I will read it and respond in the chat. And speaking of which, did my bot work? Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that. Ah, the bot did work. The stream has been live for offline. Okay, well, halfway there. I was trying to set up some kind of bot for the chat so we could do some interesting things. Like a proper lurk thing. Let's see if that works. And as I say that, I realize that the chat it is on the screen. Never mind. We're good. We're good. So, do you know how to turn on the blurred background in Discord?
You know what? Give me 5 minutes.
Give you 5 minutes? Okay. All right. Guys, I'm officially stalling. Bring it on. Bring it on the chat. I'm stalling. Technical difficulties for Captain is fine because, as usual, people have some questions. So I'm just going to address those. Are the pond snails on your site bladder snails? Saving up to do an order of isos and floaters for you and debating if I should add the snails too. Well, let's be honest. The snails kind of have a way of adding themselves. I'll upload a photo of them, but they're pond snails. They got the elf ears. I should add some floaters too, because I have that
We're doing it traditional.
Traditional?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit in front of a fish tank.
Okay. But yeah, they should be pond snails. But I do have bladder snails also. I just need to update.
I'm gonna need you to do chat moderating. I'll figure out OBS eventually. But Discord Nitro. Discord wants you to buy Nitro in order to have a background.
Unfortunate. Hey, what's up? A couple of fish, a gang, becoming a friend of the pods for 4 months. I'm pretty sure you're the longest member. I think you're like one of 4 members of that channel. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, a couple of fish. Yeah, my current pop was basically wiped out by Planaria and MTS. Damn. All right, we got the classic fish tank background.
Fish tank. Let's put some stuff underneath it.
I was gonna say that better not be your notes. That's too much research.
No.
Okay. Okay, we're rocking and we're rolling.
That's good enough.
Whenever you're ready, people.
I'm gonna be looking at my phone a little bit. I've got my notes there.
Okay, people, get your drinks now. Get your emotional support. This is about to get crazy. Isopod agenda versus Scuds.
Let's go.
What's the Scuds agenda like? What is that? They need a name.
I'm not sure that's your point.
The Brotherhood of Philip. That's what I'm representing. The Brotherhood of Philip. Representing
the Fishworks crew.
Yep. Shout out to Phil.
I'll represent the Isopod agenda.
All right. State your case.
Okay. So for mine, let's see. I think we've got like 3 categories, 3 rounds that we're gonna do. For cleanup, their diet, and then let's see, breeding, population control, overpopulation, and then their general hardiness and avenues of introduction. How do you want to go with this?
I mean, just start. I think you just start kind of like state your general case, like why you think the isopods are better. You know.
Okay.
So feel free to go into all of that.
In general, I think isopods are better. They are gentle. They do not harm other tank mates. They will not eat live plants. They will groom the molm and the biofilm off things. They're safe around fish eggs. They are safe around snails. They're safe around Thai fish. Very rarely will you have isopods randomly show up in your tanks. If you do, that's a blessing. But they are typically added intentionally. In terms of breeding, they don't breed as quickly as scuds unless you have conditions perfect. Um, they do have a longer brood time, but that can be a positive or negative depending on how you want to, how many numbers you want. So personally, I think isopods are the better choice if you had to pick one. They are the perfect snack. Any fry can eat them. They are 0.25 millimeters long when they first pop out of the marsupium. Even baby rice fish can eat them, no problem. That's my opening. Biased. They are perfect. Go for it. At the moment, fruit. We're enjoying strawberry season.
I had myself muted. My bad.
Oops.
Okay. I
Go ahead, jump
appreciate
in again.
that was a great intro, Captain. You know, the work the Isopod Agenda is doing is great, although sort of misguided. Um, I noticed you said they're the perfect snack, right?
For everything.
Everything. Okay. What is your favorite? You said your favorite snack is fruit. So if you were locked in a small room with a giant bowl of fruit, what do you think would happen to that bowl of fruit?
Oh, I would eat the fruit. The fruit would be eaten
It would just all be gone.
within a matter of days.
Okay. In a matter of days, all the fruit would be gone. How important do you think it is for the enrichment of fish that the live food living in the tank maintains a population?
I think it's beneficial, but I can understand if they get hunted to extinction.
How
That happens with
fast?
Daphnia.
How fast do you think isopods can move compared to just compared to another aquarium creature we're used to?
They are barely faster than ram's horn snails,
Okay, so you think
with
isopods
about
are
as much movement options, except
okay?
for leaping off things.
You think they're kind of slow? Okay,
They're very slow.
gotcha. And what would you say their reproduction time is like from baby to adult, and then how long for babies to come?
They have a very long reproductive cycle. From initially being laid as an egg. Sorry, you might hear some thumping in the back. That's my fish. They try to escape. Um, from their beginning as an egg until they are ready to start running around is about 3 weeks. Then at 3 weeks, they're like I said, 0.25 millimeters. They are really, really slow. They're just barely crawling around. If they don't have any cover, they're dead. Takes about 3 months for them to mature into adults, and then the cycle repeats itself.
Okay, so
Yeah,
3 months basically from babies to having some more babies.
4 months from being an egg. Yeah.
So about the perfect snack thing. If you're in the room with these your favorite fruit, how many do you think you could eat in one day? Let's say strawberries. How many strawberries could you eat in one day?
Box,
Okay, a box.
like Costco sized
Okay.
creative strawberries. If you
So
want those little green ones, I could probably do 2 or 3.
if the strawberries replicated by 2 boxes a day, then you'd be fine. You wouldn't run out of strawberries, right?
Would not, yeah, would be
Okay.
good.
What if it took them 4 months to duplicate.
I would eat all the strawberries unless they were hiding somewhere.
All right, no further questions. No further questions. I will now begin to state my case for Scuds.
All right, Scuds, let's go.
For years in the aquarium hobby, we have been basically assaulted by all these kind of live food cultures that are supposed to stick around, be easy to reproduce. Everyone always has a new thing, that's supposed to be the best. The cleanup crew, nutrition for your fish if they happen to eat them. But for me, many of them have fallen short until I found Scuds. The thing about Scuds are, once you have them, you have Scuds forever. You don't have to baby them. You don't have to take care of them. You don't have to wait around a couple months for the colony to kick off. I would say that Scuds aren't just a perfect snack. They're a perfect meal. Nutritionally balanced and long lasting. Not something that's just junk food. That's only going to be a few handfuls and then it's gone. So let's talk about more what Scuds are, what they do in your aquarium. They don't just clean up, they sterilize. Everything that's slightly dying, filthy, they're filthier than that. They're going to process it and make it clean, make those nutrients available. And they're going to do that all with the speed that many fish cannot actually keep up with, so that they won't all get hunted down in a day. No, the Scuds will stick around. The fish might get a slow Scud here and there, but the population is going to persist. And I challenge you to find a more efficient detritivore than the Scuds, a more multifaceted. It's not just top of the tank, bottom of the tank, it's everywhere. And they burrow. So they have multiple options, ways to travel, ways to hide, ways to clean. And the last thing I say about the Scuds, they always talk about the isopods are gentle. You can keep the isopods, with the fish eggs and all that stuff. Well, I want to keep my fish eggs in a clean environment anyway. I don't want any isopods or anything like that. I want to put on my container, throw some methylene blue. It's a non-issue. Why do you have all these other creatures in your egg thing? We don't want the Scuds to be gentle. We want them to fiercely clean our tanks without their entire population getting annihilated by a Corydoras with one eye. We want to provide enrichment for fish to make them bigger, faster, stronger, not lazy couch potatoes, just waiting for the next perfect snack to slowly walk in its direction. And that's why I say, if you had to choose one to put in your aquarium, you have to go with Scuds. Well,
very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is
so I guess I'm gonna go try to rebut you now.
Not yet. You get to cross-examine me first before you rebut me.
Oh, okay.
You get to ask me questions.
All right. So, how many Scuds do you think you'd have from one female Scud? How many babies does she have? And are there male Scuds? Are there boy Scuds?
I believe yes. The males, they carry the females. I believe.
Okay.
And I think that the Scuds can have 50 plus babies easily, no problem.
A mature female, we'll say 50 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. How long does she have those babies for? They just throw them out like Daphne, right?
Yeah, they just every 2 weeks, more and more
2
and
weeks,
more.
you got 50. How long does it take for them to reach breeding age? For them to have their own little 50 babies?
In good conditions, after vigorously cleaning, they can mature within a month.
Okay, that's much, much faster than isopods. You're saying how they cleaned. How well do they clean? Do they clean like living things? Anything that moves? Anything that's not moving?
What do you mean by
And like,
clean living things?
are they gonna try to clean this like the flesh of my snail?
How dirty is your snail? I mean, it's hard for me to say. Conditions vary in every tank. I could see a
Okay.
scenario where they might clean something that's alive, but maybe it was dirty, you know?
And like, are they like those gentle, like foaming cleansers, gentle, wipe on, wipe off? Or are they going in there with the Brillo pad, the metal scrubbers? Like how powerful are they cleaning?
I think that I think they clean very strongly. I wouldn't say a
Would you
gentle,
say they
but
might cause damage while they're cleaning? Accidental damage?
I mean, if something was already like weak to begin with, maybe they might help it along towards the end of its time. But you
I
know,
was thinking more like plants.
yeah, I mean, if a plant was like already in a bad shape, I mean, you got in order to remove tough stains, you got to scrub hard. So I think they're just very enthusiastic. Sometimes you might scratch the non-stick, but it's all in the name of cleanliness.
All right, so they're cleaning the non-stick pan with a metal scrubby. They're
Maybe
really making that thing clean.
maybe it's just
Got
a
it.
rough cloth. I don't know.
Because I feel like isopods do like a microfiber. They're like gentle wipe on, wipe off.
Yeah, in slow
Okay.
motion probably.
Oh yeah, very slow, very very meticulous. Okay, another question for you. You mentioned how you don't want them near eggs. You don't want them. You don't want your eggs near them. Eggs should go in methylene blue. Got that. But what about if they're in like a breeder tank? Great, they're providing food, excellent, yummy, yummy snacks for those mama fish. But movement wise, do you think they could make it up to a mop? You had a floating mop?
I think the Scuds could easily make it to a floating mop easily.
Okay. Questions closed.
All right, you're free to begin your rebuttal.
Okay. So I think, based off of what you just said, their biggest strength is also their biggest weakness. Especially in like a display tank, they can kind of get out of hand. Their population is left unchecked. If you have something like a tetra, maybe just a couple tetras, and they can't quite eat all of the scuds, they're going to choose like the medium, the baby scuds. But those big mamas who are popping out 50 babies a month are just going to keep making scuds. And from what I've read, what happens when they run out of easily accessible snacks and food is they start going after, as you mentioned, the ones who need some help moving along, whether that's green things, pellets, leftover food, molting shrimp, unsuspecting snails without a operculum to close their door and hide away. Um, I've heard people say that every grain of soil in their tank or every grain of sand is a scud. And I think that can definitely happen. Um, because they're so hardy and so great at doing what they do and living and having kids and keep on trucking, they it is nearly impossible to get rid of them. They are quite small. The babies are quite small and they will hide everywhere. And that can be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Should I say now why isopods are better? Or should I give you an opportunity? okay, in my opinion, on those same points. Isopods are better. There's a far less chance of overpopulation. They are gentle microfiber cloth cleaners. You're not going to scratch the nonstick. No. As the isopod agenda has grown, and scientific papers have used them to incubate eggs. It's proven that having gentle isopods, I'll bet there are more isopods that act kind of like scuds. Acellus aquaticus, those guys are kind of mean. But for the Lyceris isopods, which Garden of Eden cells, U cell, Conrad cells, I cell, fantastic little gentle isopods. Their little rasping mouths, little pinching motions are great for polishing eggs, removing biofilm, removing mold. Fantastic. And like scuds, they are pretty hardy. They can survive pretty harsh environments. They can survive in sludge. So I think in terms of hardiness, we're pretty much the same, but scuds do definitely reproduce much faster, which is a double-edged sword. But on the same note, it is very hard once you've had an established isopod community in a tank to completely eradicate them because their babies are so small. They can weave in and out of even the tiniest grains of sand. And so unless you have an army of Corydoras constantly overthrowing the substrate, you should be a-okay to keep finding baby isopods, even if you remove all of the adults. Let's see, I think that will be my rebuttal.